Hi, everyone, and welcome to Signal to West podcast. I'm your host, Sam West from Palm Springs, California. My guest today is Roke Cabrera. He is a meditation teacher, but I have known him from the music world. He is in my opinion, a great music DJ that I've loved and enjoyed very much. So we're gonna hear his journey, how it started from music and now to meditation, which in my opinion, they're all connected. So hi, Roke, come on in.
Hi,
How are you?
good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I met you. I don't know if you know this or not. When I used to live in Fort Lauderdale, and
Hmm.
I wanted to go out one night, and somebody says to me, "You need to go to this place called Ramrod. They play the best music." So I'm a very music snob. So I did go, and usually if I don't like the music, I would leave. But I did go, and it was great. And I was chatting with this guy. His name is Joe. I said to Joe, "The music is great." I didn't know anyone at the place, which is very liberating. So I met Joe, and we were chatting. I said, "By the way, the music is great. Who's the DJ?" He goes, "Oh, that's my husband, Rogue." I said, "Great." And that's when I first got to hear of you and know of you. And then I think we met second time. You were playing at Hunters,
Hmm.
and then I moved back to California. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys moved to Orlando.
Yes,
So you are from Spain.
I'm from Spain.
You're
I,
from
I was
Spain.
born in Barcelona.
Yeah. If you can just raise your volume a little bit higher. Uh,
Yeah, definitely. Now better?
there you go.
Yes.
So
Okay.
yes. So when was your first gig in the DJ world, and what made you start?
Well, was funny because when I start to to pay attention and see that I am attracted to be DJ, right? I was managing one of the biggest club in Spain, and I start to play for just enjoy the moment, and and that was my first place when I take more technique. The owner asked me, "Do you want to play here in a bar?" I say, "Okay, of course, yes." It's a dream, in one of the biggest club in the country, in Passion Disco,
And you had no
and
experience at all before that.
no experience
No.
in so um my mentor, one of my best friends, is DJ too. He told me, "Wow, you when you start doing something, it's like everybody when they start to drive a normal car, and you take the cabin of an airplane. So from the beginning, you are not learning to drive in a usual car. You start to drive an airplane."
Right.
And for me, it was what? But for me, it's something natural, right? I try to do what I feel. In that moment, for me, was something really special
So that
to
was your
play
first. That was your
in
first
that.
time,
The first time, yeah, the first big gig,
and that was in
and
2000. That was 2008, 7, 8,
in 2008, yes, 2008.
and then you went to a bigger event. I think it was like an
Yes,
international event in
I went to a
2009.
bigger event in Cologne, one of the biggest gay event in Cologne. It was really magical to be there.
So you
That
went
was
from
one
one.
of
You went from one local to the big international
yes,
event.
for one local, somebody listen me and say, "Hey, we want this guy. We want this guy to play with us," and contact me and say, "Are you interested?" Yes, of course, I'm interested. So to start playing in that kind of
Environment,
place with that huge
crowd.
audience is in the beginning I didn't know what mean responsibility of that. I just want to play and have fun.
Right.
When I finished to play there, I realized, wow, what you did, so
Now what?
was
Yeah.
great.
And then from there, I guess you moved to the
From there,
U.S.
I continued in Spain in 2000. I continued to playing in Spain in different places, being a resident in different club. Um, and I came here to United States in 2011, permanent.
And things were
And from
easier then.
there,
You got into it because it was much easier now that you played in the big league, so to
yeah,
speak.
well, it's different avenues, different, it's different style. The meanings of party is totally different.
Hmm.
Um, the concept of the DJ is totally different. When we play there, we play only for 2, 3 hours maximum. You play here for 7, 8 hours, a long, long, long set. So the concept, the preparation is totally different.
Right.
And when I came here, I started to play in different. I mean, I remember 2, 3 times in Dallas in a big event. I was playing 3 times there in Palm Springs for ABC, in New York, New Jersey, many in Florida for sure, and Miami. So that was here
Your base.
my career here. Mhm.
And then you guys had to move. I love how you put it. You guys had to move to Orlando.
Well, yes, it's something that I wanted to do. Honestly,
Really?
I wanted to expect to move to Orlando. Um, but I think because I was moving many times, you know, I was living in many different cities, many different places. Now I changed my country and moved to this country to find something different, and I wanted to find a change in my life. I was looking for something outside, and I didn't notice that the change is inside, it's not outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was really start to be established in Fort Lauderdale, my place, my car, my new job,
Right.
my friends, my space in the town, and then Joe say, "Hey, it's time to move to Orlando." I say, "Oh, no, 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 no! I don't want that." And I was taking some kind of resistance there. But when I understood that I had to flow and to leave the universe show me the path, and I truly accept the situation, I truly relax and surrender whatever it is I accept, everything starts to happen easily
But
and effortless.
did you surrender, or did you really have to move because family?
But surrender is no give up. Okay, surrender is that you accept that okay, I trust. Surrender in the view of point of view that you accept the situation as it is, and then you trust, and that your being is going to leading you to the right path.
But did that
That's
happen
kind of
before
surrender.
did that feeling happen before you said let's move, or did that happen after you moved and
Yes,
discovered
yes,
that before?
exactly. Yes, the feelings happen before I decide to. Okay, it's time to move to. I spent 2 years to take that decision because I didn't understood why I had to move now when I thought that I was really established and I loved the life there. But when I noticed that, and it's not the first time that happened in my life, and then start to take off the resistance or obstacles, that is, everything starts to happen easily. But I have an important decision before that, and was to don't play anymore.
Don't play what?
Don't play like DJ anymore.
You
I
don't want to
had
play.
that decision
You don't want
before.
to play anymore.
No, yeah,
So you want to stop the DJ's
yes.
story.
So I decide, okay, it's time to
To end.
don't play anymore. Okay, everybody say you are crazy.
Right.
You start to have a nice career.
Right.
Everybody starts to know you.
Right.
I create a record label. I produce my own music. I produce my, and now you are going to leave that.
Right.
People don't understand that.
So
But
why did you want to leave it?
because was something within that I was missing.
And that was what?
I was playing because I knew the technique, not because I really enjoyed that moment. For me, it was something mechanical. Playing was something mechanical. In the beginning, was okay. I tried to lift it up people, to make people happy, and all of that. But was something within me that was telling me, you are missing something.
And what was that?
You are missing something. So I decide no, continue play like me like a DJ. However, I continue being in contact with music, which is different.
Right.
Because actually, I am sound healer therapist. So I continue working with music, but in different state, on different level. I continue working with frequencies. I continue working in the realm of frequencies and vibration, right? So when people ask me, you don't play music, sorry?
You started doing the sound healing in 2008. So you're already involved in that world. Okay, now it makes sense.
Okay, so I was a little crisis, but right. No, not only crisis, but it was a self-inquiry,
right.
So right. Looking within and say, hey, what is going on? What happened? Why I'm taking the resistance and go to Orlando?
Right.
Why I don't feel good when I am playing? So it was something that I understood that let it go, let it be. Because it's not just let it go, let it be the situation be as it is, and just go with the flow. And that's what's happened. And when I moved to Orlando, then I start to, I practiced meditation for 5-6 years. When I take that decision of don't play anymore, I already was meditating. Okay, so
but not to the extent that you are now. I mean, I think it was a gradual process. Meditation, we all start somewhere, and it's kind of hard, and you got to find your rhythm, and you got to find your best way to do it, and then you drop out, and you come back into it again. It's not exactly,
Yeah, it's not exactly in one moment.
In one moment.
It's just a process.
Right.
Everything in life is a process.
Right.
We put a seed there in the soil, and we care about this seed in the soil and the process, right? So
you went to Orlando, and now the DJ world, as you knew it, is kind of diminishing. As you knew it, and now you're going into another world. So you start to get into meditation, and then in 2019, I want to say it correctly, Vipassana. Thank you.
Vipassana.
What is that exactly?
Yeah, Vipassana literally means within, looks within. After 5 years meditating, from 2 years, I think it was 2 years ago, my first Vipassana course retreat. It's the technique that Buddha developed in his teachings. It's a Buddhist technique, but I think it's more than a technique. It's involved lifestyle. It's based on the Dharma teachings,
right,
and the teachings of Buddha. And Vipassana is really changed my life. So it's 10 days where you meditate 10, 11 hours per day
Ay,
in total silence,
that's the whole
but
day. That's the whole
yeah,
day.
all day. Yeah, you only meditate and sleep, meditate and sleep. That's it. Yeah, it's total silence in that retreat. Um, Body silence and language silence.
And that was for 10 days.
Um, and then really you develop self-inquiry, and overall you start to observe your reality as it is. That's
Which
the technique.
sometimes is not very pretty.
Sometimes it's not very pretty.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
So what meditation really does is to show you and to teaching you, to allow you to go through your experience and accept the reality as it is. So it's not just to try find happiness or well-being. Of course, you start to feel a sense of well-being in your life. But meditation is more that. Is to observe the reality, observe your reality. And then you don't... Overall, the main word for me in Vipassana is equanimity. Observe things with equanimity. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just neutral. And from there, the sense of happiness and inner peace is biggest.
And
So that's the...
you were still doing the sound healing during this process. Still, music was still part of that cycle.
Well, I am more focused now on meditation, because meditation really gives me the opportunity to express myself. I still doing, as you see, I have my instruments here, some tuning fork, pipes, Tibetan bowls, some kind of instruments. Still body, people ask me for some session, but I am more focused now to teach beginners how to start create the habit of meditation, because I think that is one of the more complicated moments when you really decide to start to meditate, is to create that sustainable and constant
Right?
practice.
It takes a
It's
while.
no, we,
It takes a while.
yeah, it takes a
Right? It
while.
takes a
So
while.
we receive many benefits in meditation, not only spiritual benefits, physical benefits, mental benefits, physiological benefits. But it's not about two sessions and that's it. We receive that benefits because we have a constant and sustainable practice.
And then from
And
there
I
you
am
went,
focused on that now.
but then, yeah, and then you went in 2018. That's when you became the therapist for sound healing,
Uh-huh,
right?
exactly. So I start with sound therapy,
Right.
and sound therapy lead me to to meditation teacher, because with sound I start to do sound meditation, some kind of meditation where you move frequency and you move energies in your body, and that leading me to meditation teacher. Regardless my individual or private practice, okay, there's something different to my private practice. Vipassana is my private practice. I don't teach Vipassana.
That's your personal that you do every day.
That's my personal practice.
Okay.
Exactly. I teach something different. I teach awareness, but I know Vipassana. Vipassana, they teach by themselves. So you have to go take a course for 10 days, and then if you like the technique, you continue practice that technique in your life.
So how did you find, what made you, how did you find it? How did you find the 10 days? What made you go, I'm going to find the 10-day, that program, I'm going to click on that and go there for 10 days?
Well, everybody hear about law of attraction, right?
Right.
So you attract the environment where you are moving on.
But I'm just looking for the steps. Like, what Google did you go to? What made you do it? What
No, no,
made
no,
you
no, no,
think
no,
it? What made you
no.
proud?
It's
How did it
something.
all start?
So, yeah, in meditation, well, happy meditation is you going to receive the next step when you really need. I mean, means I wasn't ready 5 years ago to take Vipassana meditation
Right.
technique, right? So Vipassana appeared when I am ready to take Vipassana. And was because we are members of Centers for Spiritual Living here in Orlando. And one of the practitioner, she is one of the teacher in the Vipassana retreat in Georgia, in Jessup, Georgia. So she knew that I am interested in meditation, that I meditate constantly, that I have 3 years meditating, and she said, "Hey, you can be interested in this retreat."
So that's how you did. That's how the first plant was planted,
That,
and then they're like, okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay.
exactly. You are start to receive what you
Things.
need
Right.
in the right moment.
So your practice was before COVID, and then COVID came,
Yeah,
and then what
yeah.
happened?
Well, COVID definitely is a certain moment, right? And as Deepak Chopra say, uncertain moment is the field of infinite opportunities and infinite possibilities. It's in this field of uncertainty is where we can put the seed that we want to grow to grow. Sorry.
Okay.
So, in that moment, because I am in this involved flow
Of
in
things.
my life, so I didn't take the COVID. I closed my studio, right? I said, hey, I had to come back home. I cannot continue receiving a customer or client, and I come back home. But for me, it was okay. I had to adapt to the new circumstances, which is online, like you see now. I adapt my session online, um, and one day appeared Itza is one of the teachers, I think one of the biggest teachers of meditation,
When you say one day,
and
like how
he
did it appear?
say, "Hey,
How did it appear? Like one day knocked on your door,
appear, just see appear, yeah, just appear,
but it appeared on your screen,
and
appeared on
then
your
say, okay, it's the
computer.
opportunity."
But how did he appear?
Yes, because I am into the meditation world,
Right.
sound meditation,
Right.
spiritual awareness, all
Right.
of that. You start to receive many emails, many
Right.
subscriptions, many,
Right.
all
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Right.
And one of the I received was about a school of positive transformation, and I was reading about this school for many times, and that moment appeared.
And
So I
that
say,
was during COVID.
yes, it was right a month. No, the last month when I was open in with my studio
So it was before COVID, like right before COVID.
before COVID, just a month, 2 months before COVID.
And then what happened?
What happened is that I study the teaching. I prepare myself with this teacher,
Right.
and I decide to create a meditation course,
Right.
retraining of attention,
Right.
and that's what I'm doing now. I am giving a class for retraining of attention and to teach people how create this sustainable practice.
So it started before COVID because you were doing it one on like regular the way it used to be. COVID came, you had to shut it down, and now you had to learn how to do it online,
Uh-huh.
one on one in a group and all that. Yeah.
But you know, it wasn't something that I had to make a schedule to do this, to
It
do
just
this, to do
happened.
this. It just happened. It's something like that accepting allow you to flow because you understand that when you start to be aligned with wherever you want or wherever you are, everything starts to happen.
So what do you tell
And
what do you tell people that they try to align, they meditate, they doing the work, but nothing is happening. They're still being stuck.
say again.
What do you tell the people that
Uh-huh.
are doing the work, meditating as much as they can, and doing the effort, especially in a world now that things are shut down, they can't find the possibilities, but they're doing their work, but there's no opening. Yours was very flowing. Things happen. Went to this, you moved to Orlando,
Yeah.
you got to do this, you da, 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 da. So what do you tell the people that are you know
Practice, practice,
practicing?
practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. A pianist, to be a great
Oh, to
pianist,
be a decent pianist,
practice,
not even
practice,
great, to be a good
practice.
pianist, to get a gig as a pianist, forget even being
Practice,
good,
practice,
to practice.
practice. Right? So
But
we have two ways to affront the situation. One is the reactive, and the other one is the non reactive. The reactive is our conditioning mind, right? Which is good. It's not bad because we need our mind to daily basic activities, okay? To go to work, friends, dinner, TV, schedule, whatever,
right.
okay? But we have the non-reactive, which is our authentic self. And we have that possibility. And we have that conscience possibility. Means that I decide consciously don't react to the situation. So I can give a rest to my mind. And when I come back to the activity, I can come back fresh. I can come back more aware of the situation.
But what somebody can say to you, Roke, but you went to your first gig in Spain with no experience, and they loved you, and they hired you for the international gig right away. You had no experience. You didn't really work hard enough. You didn't, you weren't working DJing for 5, 6, 7 years, but you had the talent. It was already in you. You went from a local gig to international gig with nothing in between. So some people say, well, practice, practice, practice. But you didn't really practice. I mean, it was
Well,
just already in you.
yes, yes, of
It
course.
was
I
in
mean,
you.
of course, practice, practice, practice. It was
But you
practice,
already
practice,
had,
practice.
some people already have it in them that, I mean, I can practice all day long. I might never reach the level that you have reached, that you went from a local gig to an international gig. Because I
Well,
think
that imply limiting limited mind. So when you understand limitless mind,
that goes
everything
out
can
the window.
flow.
It all changes.
Everything can flow. I mean, whatever we want, when we experience our real, our authentic self, don't require effort. The rest in our life require many effort, right? So, however, when I spend more time in my inner being, what I am doing is expressing my natural essence more time and permeating everything what happened in my life. And the only thing that we can happen in my life if I spend more time with my essence is only good.
Do you miss the DJing world?
Not really. Not really. Means I can continue. I continue enjoying music in different way.
But not the old way.
I recognize that for me, the DJ world is hard, but not hard because you had to go there, you know, for the kind of frequencies that is in within that world, you know, envy, and people not trust too much. They are not really, they show you a face and then there is another kind of face. You think that there is an intention and they want a different intention. So if you really care about yourself, you pay attention of all that and you say, hey, this is the word that is not for me. I mean, or at least
You did it.
it's not the world that I want
You
in
want to
my
be
life,
in.
right?
Right.
So when you start to have the same thing constantly and nothing change,
Then
you
you're
have to
not. You have to
have to
find the
try
right.
something
Right.
different
Right.
if you
Right.
want something different in your
Yep.
life.
Yep. Yep. I get it. And in the music world, I mean,
So
you're
if
gonna.
I continue doing the same,
We can produce music. You can produce. Well, DJing is DJing. There's no way around it.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is the DJing.
Yeah.
This is the DJing, right?
Yeah. Right.
But even the owners in the club, they don't take really serious people who really pay attention to details in DJ world. So they don't care
Right.
who is playing there, and they don't, because it's not only the 2-3 hours that you are playing in the DJ booth. You spend all week preparing that
Right.
set,
Right.
right?
And the
And when you,
expectation and the euphoria and the excitement, and then
yeah.
and they want it more, and there's a whole thing that comes with that. Yeah.
And anyway, for me was the path for the step to recognize, because I told you every experience is necessary, and for me that experience was
Well,
necessary to
necessary.
recognize that what I am looking for is not on outside, it's inside. So for me, that moment, that 10-12 years that I was playing, was necessary to recognize, hey, what you are doing you like, but I like play basketball too. I am
Oh, I did
not
not
a
know.
basketball player. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right. Right.
So, or I like swimming is my sport. I like swimming a lot, but I am not official
Right.
swimmer. You know
Swimmer. Right.
what I mean?
Right. Right.
So, what I was looking outside, I recognize, hey, no, it's inside,
It's inside. So your
right?
website, how do people find you?
And Roke Cabrera that online.
Rora Cabrera. Let's spell that for
That
everybody. Roke, Roke, Cabrera, Cabrera.
that
Dot
online.
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 Okay.
Because of that, I had to transform, I had to do it different.
Right.
How online, right? So
And what's next for you? What do you want to accomplish next?
next for me, I hope to in June graduate with religious science as practitioner after almost 3 years of study. In June, finally, we graduate with the new ministers. That will be I think the date this year, and continue sharing knowledge, because I think that's the thing, is to share.
It's to share. Right.
You know what I learned to share with the rest of the people. You know, it doesn't make sense to
To keep
take
it.
for me.
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know, just to share with the rest of the world. That's my goal. That's the purpose.
Good for you.
That's the purpose.
Good for you.
Thank
Roke,
you.
thank you for coming on. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure. It's been years. And
Yes.
to the listeners, hope you enjoyed it. And we will see you everyone next time. That's next week. Be safe, Take care, everyone.